All right, so the first two cards that I'm pulling here, Aquarius, Libras, my Libra sisters and brothers, all right, is the mind plane. This helps us to see what mindset both parties are going into this relationship with. The second pair of cards I'm pulling here does tell us is the physical plane, which helps us to see how each person is displaying themselves in the relationship, or like how they see themselves and how other people see them, right? And then the last card here, last pair, is the spiritual plane, which gives us a little background as to why everyone's presenting themselves the way they present themselves, as well as think the way they think regarding this connection. Now, the last cards that I'm pulling here are the this helps us to understand what brought you two together, and then the challenge, which is death, letting things go. Unlike energy, being the King of Pentacles. All right, Libra. All right. So let me grab my crystal. I've been rubbing this in my hand like for 3 readings straight, and it's been helpful. But just taking a quick look at this, because usually before I like to jump into it, I like to give a little summary of what I see. And honestly, what I'm seeing right now is that there is a lot of things happening. And it's not because, okay, so first of all, the disclaimer, this deception is not because somebody's lying. They're defensive. They're not quite sure if they trust themselves, let alone trust the relationship. So it's not really them, trying to be all like, I don't trust you. It's more of like, the situation is like, I don't trust myself. I don't really know what to expect. I don't really know what to think. There's a lot of stuff going on. And therefore, I'm keeping it all to myself because it's my own chaos. And I feel like I should keep protecting people from it and protecting myself from you, from, trying to dissect it and not making sense of it and making everything frustrated. It's weird. And it's mostly too, I think it's about emotional connection too, a deepness, if that makes sense. Like, there's something that's keeping the person from being able to be open about how they feel about stuff. And it's because they're overthinking a situation, or they're not allowing themselves to just take the steps without having to predict every freaking move after that. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of stuff going on. But deception, someone wearing a false mask, that kind of tells me that there's some things that are being covered up, not being said, not being communicated honestly, not because someone's trying to be malicious or do something underhanded, but mostly because, I think it's two things. They don't know how to say it. They don't really know how to come about communicating that, or that, they feel like this is something that they don't really want to express or they don't want to share because it's probably too much for someone else to deal with, or they don't even know what the hell's going on. They don't want to communicate something without knowing what the hell's going on first. So, you know how I do. Pick the side that resonates with you guys the most. I'm going to start here, though. So remember, guys, if whatever side that you don't pick, the other side is your soulmate, please do apply them where it fits appropriately. Don't try to enforce it. This person's already, this is the person I was pretty much talking about. Okay, someone's very definitely defensive going into this relationship. But I don't see this as like the 9 of Wands defensive, like they have their walls up, trying to block people out, trying to keep things in, but obviously wanting some progress to be made. But I kind of feel like this person is definitely taking the protective approach. They have the higher ground. They feel like this relationship definitely is an advantage from the standpoint that they've had before, maybe. But they either are very protective of themselves or protective of the relationship, or both. Like, I feel like it's a little mixture of both. Now, with the other person here, how they're coming into this relationship, what they're thinking going into this relationship is the 8 of Wands. A lot of things are moving fast. A lot of things are happening. They're just kind of rolling with the punches, not really needing to push or pull or do anything abrupt. They're just riding and coasting along with it. And it's mostly because, to me, like, they're living the dream already. They're putting in the work that they feel that they are, and they're aspiring for great things. This is a dream come true for them, but this is them, seeing the situation blossom and start over, but definitely have the potential for growth, right? So they're just kind of riding the wave, doing their thing, hashing things out, doing their due. But what's interesting about the other person, though, is that the 8 of Swords is here for them while they're defensive. So they're showing that they're kind of locking their mind up. They're not really open to things, not because they just don't want to be open, but that they can't because there's so much going on up top. There's so much going on in the noggin. They're so focused on protecting and preventing that they're not thriving and living to their fullest. While this person looks like they're living to the fullest, this person looking like they ain't. So this is why that's coming up as a challenge, right? Because there's some things that need to just be released about this whole thing altogether. Something needs to be made some space. Because right now, whatever the hell this is, whatever's prompting them to get this way is due to past stuff, due to past pains, past disappointments. And they have to grow from that, obviously. And it's almost like they don't know how to go about moving forward when they're trying their best to preserve what they've worked so hard to obtain. Right? So the underlying energy, if we look really fast, is the King of Pentacles, and knowing the King of Pentacles is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, right? It can be, right? They loan the energies to them, that's not them, but it can all talk about commitment, talk about stability, it talks about settling down, taking it slow, but knowing what everyone's worth, knowing everyone's value. And I think that it's a confidence thing along the value system, because this is something that this person is trying to preserve. Someone's preserving something, or trying to protect, trying to keep something from ending or something from happening. And I think that they're keeping themselves still and not doing things because they're afraid to do what, just to be. They're afraid to just do their thing and to just move forward and live life and be open and happy and all that goodness, because they're trying so hard to protect something, or their mindset is towards the protective route. So they're locked up, they're locked down, they're not opening up, not because, like I said, not because they're trying to be mean and malicious or hide a secret, and they may have some secrets about themselves that they don't want to express, and it's because they're trying to protect something, right? The reason why I say this is because the High Priestess here, and the reason why I'm bringing up the King of Pentacles as the underlying energy is because this is about self-esteem. I feel this is about confidence, seeing themselves as worthy of love, worthy of happiness, worthy of a stable commitment, worthy of putting down roots and starting start blossoming a stable relationship, or going towards perhaps even a deeper level of commitment and a stronger representation of that commitment. I feel like this person has some secrets about themselves. They feel like they have to protect themselves from, from anything that happens, whatever this Eight of Swords is coming up as. So you look right at the other person with the Star coming up here. They have 3 cups. Right? They're celebrating. They're happy. They're in a community that they love, or they're with this person. They feel like there's a side connection here. They can blossom. They can grow. They can move fast. They're feeling the vibe. They're feeling the energies. The energies are moving very fast, and they're just riding with it. They're not forcing it. They're doing the best they can. They're working with what they got. They're putting effort forth, and that's the best thing that they can do, right? But the other person is holding on to something. Death and the High Priestess, man. And it's the secrets, and the secrets, it's not necessarily about them like cheating or anything like that. I don't want anybody getting anything in their heads like, oh, this is a third party situation. No, hell no, it's not. I don't see nothing about no third party. Even though the 3 cups is here, I don't see nothing about no third party. This is about the other person. This is not the other person here. The reason why they're keeping this secret to me and what it looks like is because of some old issues surrounding them being open in the first place. And I think there was a level of them that got to that point, or you connected to them in a very deeply emotional way, which is why they're locked up like this. Like, they can't open up, they can't be free, because if they do open themselves up, they have to take a leap of faith. They have to not take a leap of faith, because that's not what the High Priestess talks about. They have to trust that things are going to be fine. They have to have faith in their relationship. They have to have faith that the relationship will be sustained, things will be fine, that the roots and the stuff, that the work that they put into this relationship is going to stand, so that way they can communicate, they can be open, they don't have to feel stuck in their thoughts and trapped and incapable of doing things, So I think it's more of like they had a solid note in you, immediately, like what brought you two together is love. The Queen of Cups is love. Now, the Queen of Cups can talk about Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy, and that could be that you're dealing with somebody that's a water sign and is deeply emotional anyway. But the Queen of Cups, she knows what she wants, but she's already very secretive. And I think what brought you two together wasn't just love, but it was also the mystery of each other. You know, the secrets, not secrets in the sense of like, oh my god, this person is a homicidal maniac or something. Nah, like they may be like, well, they like to collect candles or something that makes them feel like they, you know, that's precious to them, something that's close to their heart. There was something, of course, that drew you together, and I think it was the mystery. It was the trying to figure that out part, right? There's something about the person, there's depth to the individual. That's what drew you guys together. But death is peeling away all those layers to see the very core of it. That's why it's Scorpionic energy that death comes with. This is why this card represents Scorpio. But it's peeling away the layers. And I feel like this person is having to it's trying to keep the walls up to keep the layers from coming off, but at the same time they know that if they do that, it can potentially, you know, show bad in the relationship, especially if this person is being open, communicating very clearly, and trying to be open and being communicative as clearly as they possibly can, striving for a future that they want, right? Manifesting, putting the hard work in, right? Doing their due diligence. This person is doing their due diligence to keep it together, because I think there's some things that they're afraid to let out because of some old stuff that happened in the past that makes them fear being true to themselves, being open, and honestly allowing people to see who they are and not give two fucks about what they think. You know what I mean? So it's about, of course, the King of Pentacles. They have their ways of being stable, ways of being, of developing worth or value for themselves, and they have routines that they have in place to keep them from, keep them afloat, keep them stable, keep them, provider for people, provider for themselves. And I feel like this person has been in a passive position, and because they're so defensive here, this may be that they're in a position where they are not able to provide for themselves, and that makes them close up and block up and try to provide for themselves solo, try to do it all by themselves when they don't want to seem weak, or they don't want to seem passive or feminine, when honestly it happens sometimes. It could have to do with again, like value and how this person sees value. If this person is seeing value in a very practical way. What's underneath here? The Four of Swords. Why is the Four of Swords coming up? Because of page 1. Nope. This is the Ace of Pentacles, starting something new in regards to a relationship. And there was a pause, there was a break, and this is about. There was I don't know if it was separation or a time of, reflection, trying to get to understanding oneself and all that. And that's good if that was the case. I think there was, a brand new beginning. There was a period of a pause, and then the person's rededicated. That's back to committing to the relationship, putting work in, and doing their due diligence. But I feel like the situation is so practical because the King of Pentacles is coming up. I don't think this person is thinking that them being emotionally open is important, but it is, because it's also keeping them from purging and doing different things and aspiring to go after what their heart's desire is. While they're keeping their persona up here as of being a brick wall and not being able to be penetrated, they're also keeping themselves from doing the things that they want to do, because they're not allowed to, because they are keeping themselves from allowing themselves to express themselves. Alright, so whoever that person is, man, they going through some stuff, but they have to start trusting that the situation is going to be okay, and not have to feel like they have to hide how they feel. See what I'm saying? Embrace your emotions is the first card that falls out. And embrace your emotions says, don't push down your feelings or judge your emotions. And I feel like that's exactly what the hell this person's doing. Not opening up, not allowing their feelings to go through. And consider your foundation. See, the reason why these two cards are coming up together is because this, like I said before, this person does know. They know what they're doing. They know what It's impactful what their actions are doing and how it's impacting the relationship. And the more they defend themselves and hide their true self, the more it impacts the foundation of the relationship. The more and more this relationship starts to look faulty, look unstable, look kind of, like there's no potential for growth because there's nothing real. This person's not being real, and they feel like if they cannot figure out how to be real with the other person, the integrity of the relationship is definitely going to be compromised, because you can't build a relationship off of secrets and hiding your true self. You have to eventually be who you are. You can't possibly see how a relationship can blossom if you're not trying to be who you are. And that's the most important thing. And that's why this person has to just accept how they feel, accept their darkness, accept their shadow selves, and not judge that part of themselves, because they are the only people in the whole wide world that's ever going to accept that part of them truly. The other person will do their best, but ultimately they have to just honestly just accept, hey, I'm this kind of person, that's how I am, and and embrace it 100%. But it starts by fucking taking a look at how you feeling, knowing what you feel, and honestly, don't hide that anymore, unless you don't care about the relationship, right? Unless you don't really want to, see this grow. But I feel like you guys do. I feel like this person definitely does. This person definitely wants to see it grow. This person has so much love for this person, but they got to start peeling away the layers so they can get to the core. You got to start getting to the bottom of the situation, get to see who everyone is in the facet of the relationship, in order for there to be something real left over. And it's hard. It's going to take some time, and don't expect this stuff to happen overnight, because this is something that's definitely going to have to take time. Even this person here that's moving so fast right now, or thinking that things are moving very fast on their part, they still have to have a lot of time before all their layers come out. All of who they are comes out. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen no matter how quickly they want to say all their secrets and everything. It doesn't make it fast, because who you are will come out over time. And this person has to do the same as well, but not resist it. That's the difference. And not be afraid of who they are, and not be afraid that who they are will drive the other person away. Because if they are, why would you be in a relationship with somebody who you don't believe can value you, no matter who you are, no matter what you present themselves? If that's how you see the other person, you have to really figure out, why are you in a relationship with somebody who you believe cannot accept you for who you are? Right? That gets down to the real bottom of things. Why are you in a relationship with somebody who you believe cannot accept you for every ounce of you, every aspect of you? If you cannot be yourself, that is a question to ask yourself. Why are you allowing this energy to keep you at a certain space? Why are you hiding your light?